Turn our feedback off. I forgot. I keep forgetting. What's going on, everybody? What's up? Welcome to a late night stream of the Late Night Show with Dr. Kojo. We're going to be talking about tea breaks, but more specifically, this is going to be a tea break survival guide. So if you've been keeping up with the content this week, we've been talking a lot about tea breaks. We've been talking a lot about making positive changes in your life. And I'm not saying that, cannabis is bad or alcohol is bad or nicotine is bad. Don't get me wrong. I roll with the best of them. And I like all those things, if we're being honest. But for those people who want to make some changes in their lives, we're going to be talking about a tea break survival guide. And yes, Hemingway, I'm clearly on the West Coast. I'm checking in live from Los Angeles, California. So all my West Coast people know what's up. All my East Coast people who have insomnia and can't sleep, or for whatever reason just want to watch this live stream, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. Keep in mind that if you have to wake up in the morning or if it's too late for you, this live stream is going to be saved. So for my people watching on Facebook, you can watch this after the fact. So don't feel like you have to stay up just to catch this live stream. But we're going to have fun tonight, and we're going to talk about a topic that I've been posting about all week, and I have a lot of thoughts about it. And hopefully it can bring some value to you. And after you watch this live stream, you're able to extract a couple of tips to make your life a little bit better. So I'm excited. Like I always say, my name is Kojo Sarfo. I'm checking in from Los Angeles, California. So use the comment section to let me know where you are checking in from. And let's go ahead and get started. Let me grab a seat. Let's get started. West Coast reporting in. S. Pitt, what is going on? S. Pitt from YouTube. Hemingway as well. Hemingway, on the East Coast, Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, I appreciate you checking in. I know it's super late out there. It's like 1:30 in Charlotte. So I appreciate you checking in. So thank you very much. Thank you. We got Toya. Is that how you say it? Toya? Please correct me if I'm messing it up. I don't want to be that one Mickey Ficky who can't get the names right. Toya from New Orleans. What's up, Miss Richardson? I'll just say that, Miss Richardson. Marihia, Cologne from New Jersey. What's going on? What is going on? We are streaming live on not only Facebook, but also LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitch and TikTok. My TikTok boys and girls, I got to put the phone up so I can see TikTok. Somebody on TikTok, Finch says, yay, haven't caught you in a while. I haven't been streaming in a while. And I've been making a couple of changes to my routine. We will be streaming every day here shortly. Don't worry. We will be streaming every single day. And I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that. I'm very excited. I don't like being disconnected away from my community. So I'm excited for that. Jessica, 1 week of my break tomorrow. Congratulations. Jessica's also checking in from North Carolina. So there's something in North Carolina that's connecting y'all to me tonight, and I appreciate it. Espit says, I'm a few generations removed from North Carolina, went from Alaska. Okay. William says, dude, William, what's going on? What's up? Short and sweet comment on TikTok. Arkansas. AR is Arkansas. AK is Alaska. So Arkansas. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, look. Tea break survival guide. Tea break survival. So first of all, let's talk about it. What is a tea break? A tea break is a tolerance break. So for people who smoke, and specifically marijuana, cannabis, and I like to say cannabis because where I'm streaming on TikTok, sometimes they don't let these lives go far because they want to protect kids and things like that. So I understand that. But a tea break is anybody who's taking a break from the Mary Jane. And when you take a break from the Mary Jane, a couple of interesting things can happen to you. If you can keep up with the content, you know that you may struggle with insomnia. You could struggle with mood swings. You could have some anxiety. You have these vivid dreams because the THC suppresses the vivid dreams. So you may not dream for a while. All of a sudden, you start to have these crazy, strong dreams. On top of that, your appetite's affected. You may not be able to eat because the one thing that was stimulating your appetite is no longer there. And don't get me wrong, there are some mental health benefits from THC, I do believe. We use it in the elderly population sometimes to stimulate appetite. I know that they've done studies looking into THC and epilepsy. It's not something that has no therapeutic use. I don't want to say that. But people, for some reason, feel like it's harmless. You can't get addicted to it. And it can't have a negative impact on your life. And that is not correct. It can bring harm to your life. It can flip your life upside down. And for a lot of people in my community, for my ADHD boys and girls who already struggle with, executive functions and trying to get things done, having trouble starting things and then seeing it all the way through, things like THC can also further, sink your ability to stay locked in on a certain task and to see all the way through, right? So we have to be careful with these things. I don't think that it's, the worst thing in the world. I would love to do a study with some university, UCLA or Harvard or somebody, to look into the therapeutic benefits of THC. I would love to do that study. Trust me, I would. But I know that there are some benefits that you can get from choosing to take a break. You don't have to stop it, but taking a break, you get to clear your mind. But the weird things that happen to you when you go on a tea break sometimes prevent people from continuing along with that tea break. Toya is 43 days into her break. Okay, Toya, how do you feel? 43 days. How do you feel? How you feel? How you feel? How you feel? How you feel? I got hip to the vivid dreaming, not dreaming in the last 4 years. So Hemingway, have you taken a break or talk to me now? And Toya said, "Have me looking great." Hey, it's a big change. It is a big change, and you got to be nice to yourself. You got to be nice to yourself. Shannon says, "Oh, what? What's up, Shannon? How you doing?" FND. So, Ms. Gilchrist, bit of a different thing, but we will have a live stream. I've had this question a lot. We need to have a live stream where we talk about this specifically, but I want to do my best to stay on topic here. I'm not the most focused Mickey Ficky, but I'm trying. Education Never Lies says, I want to stop. I want to stop. Okay. You want to stop. Now we can make this very easy. For Education Never Lies, you can put your real name in there if you want to. If you want me to refer to you as Education Never Lies, I can do that too. But for people who want to stop, when I see a phrase that says, I want to stop, it leads me to believe that you have the desire to stop, but you have not currently taken the necessary steps to get closer to stopping, right? How do we do that? You have to figure out what are the things that are impeding you from stopping, and how can we address those things one by one? And of course, not beating yourself up if you like let's say you watch this live stream tonight and afterwards, you feel all motivated. 5 minutes later, you get high. Don't beat yourself up. It's okay. We're good. We'll be fine. We will be fine. We'll just try and do better the next day. You have to figure out what are the goals you have? What are you working towards? Does cannabis have a place in my life? If so, cool. If you do it on the week, it's fine. But if you want to stop, you have to figure out what's stopping you. Toya is better. Anxiety isn't as bad. Dreams are very wild. The dreams can freak you out. The dreams can definitely freak you out. But I'm happy that you realize that anxiety is not as bad. And what do we know about anxiety? Anxiety is the most common mental health condition in America. And one of the highest levels of anxiety is agitation, but also paranoia. And we know that the paranoia can get a bit worse, when you're on a substance. Shannon says 12 days sober from cigs. Congratulations. Jay says, I would rather indulge and take medicine. So Jay, hear me out on this. For some reason, people I look at the comment section and people say things like, oh, don't listen to this guy. Because I was on the news and I said that, THC and marijuana can lead to, it can increase your chances of getting schizophrenia. And somebody thought that I'm being paid off by the drug companies, or what drug companies and what money. I would love to see it. I would love to see the money. I'm not being paid off by anybody. I'm just presenting evidence-based information. And notice that when I'm talking about, maybe stopping or taking a break, I mentioned nothing about pharmaceutical drugs. I have not mentioned anything about naltrexone, which of course, can help with alcohol craving. I haven't talked about any drugs. So my goal here is not to get people to take psychiatric medications. I'm not going to handcuff you and shove Zoloft down your mouth. That's not what I'm trying to do. We're just talking about one thing here. But for somebody who says that they would rather smoke than to take medications, that makes complete sense to me. You're not a bad person. That makes a lot of sense to me. That people would rather smoke than to take medications. Yeah. First of all, in order to get medications, you have to have a psychiatric provider. You have to find someone who takes your insurance. A lot of things have to go right for you to do that. So, and on top of that, the medications have side effects. I mentioned Zoloft earlier. It can have sexual side effects, right? I'm a guy. I'm a man. And as a man and as a Mickey Ficky, if a medication is going to make me have sexual side effects, I'm probably going to think twice about it. Not to say that it's not a good medication, but yeah, keep those things in mind, right? So I'm not pushing drugs. I'm not telling you to not take psychiatric medications. That's a whole separate conversation. I do believe in psychiatric medications, and those are the things that I prescribe. But this is solely talking about whether you want to, give up smoking, or whether you want to take a break, or whether you want to continue with it. But there's nothing wrong if you rather smoke than take psychiatric medications. I've had a lot of people tell me that marijuana has been way better for them than any medication that they've taken. So when people say that, I listen to them, and I'm curious. I want to know why they said that. It makes me realize how little I know. Never saw me live? Well, Shannon, I'm here. I am here tonight. Shannon Renee Grace Staska. That's a very nice name. Shannon, where are you from? This is the community that means a lot to me. So welcome to the community. Have a night sweats though. Toya, the night sweats can be crazy. And Ciola, we're talking about the Tea Break Survival Guide. So the people who are watching this, or the people who watch it on the back end, are more than likely my boys and girls who want to stop using THC, marijuana, cannabis. And those first 2 weeks where you have the withdrawal symptoms, the anxiety, the night sweats, the lack of appetite, the mood swings, it feels like it never goes away. It should get better in 2 to 3 weeks. That's what the evidence says, but sometimes it can go on longer than that. My goal is to stay off. If that's your goal, I support you. Courtney says, considering a break for sure. Coming out of ADHD burnout and feeling like I'm ready to tackle this. Courtney, it's time. And look, Courtney, I'm proud of you for even considering the break. And I'm not telling you to stop forever, because who knows? Maybe one day we have some evidence that says that cannabis, when used like this or this strain, can help out. Like, who knows? Who knows? It could be helpful. But we know what the evidence against it says too. So even you considering a break, it means that you want to take steps to help yourself out. And that burnout, that neurodivergent burnout, is not a joke. It's not a joke at all. It's not a joke. You physically need time to yourself. And this is something that you might struggle to explain to, your partner, your kids, your loved ones. I'm not avoiding you. I just need some time to chill out. I just need more alone time than the average person. I need time to myself. And the reason why a lot of us in the neurodivergent community, and even myself, why we, turn to substances, is because they help to keep you present in the moment, helps you relax, helps you sleep better. That's the reason why I started, and it was edibles for me, because I couldn't, sleep on a regular basis. So once, I had some friends here in California, oh, try this edible. This is indica. Indica means in the couch. Sativa means for social settings. I'm like, okay, talk to me more about it. And you try it, and I'm like, oh wow, I got some really good sleep. One thing led to another, and I realized I had to take a step back because my routine was being affected. I couldn't show up in my life and be as present as I wanted to be. So even you considering this, Courtney, that's a big win. That's a big win, Courtney. And let me see. I've been implementing more breaks, and one day during a break, I realized I had a vivid dream. Then that made me realize I hadn't dreamed in a while. Went down the rabbit hole of how THC affects dreams. Yeah. And look, once again, for whatever reason, I see a comment there where somebody is saying that I'm saying it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I don't think that we should, I think across the United States, it should be legal. People should not go to jail for possession of marijuana. It doesn't make any sense to me. We have bigger crimes to fight. I am all in favor of decriminalizing it. It should not. Why? Well, why are we still arresting people for it? What I want to educate the public about is the fact that it's not as harmless as you think that it could be. I'm having surgery in 10 days, so Monday will be day one for me. I've cut back quite a bit the last 2 weeks. Now I'm understanding what has been happening to me. Maria. I like how you spelled that. Maria. That's all I'm saying here. That's all I'm saying here. When you take a step back sometimes you have to take a step back, zoom out a little bit, and you can finally see what's going on. Because when you're so close, right? When you're so close, you can't see the full bigger picture, right? I'm too close. I am way too close. You got to step back sometimes. Zoom out. Check the periphery. You got to step back sometimes. And when you step back, you'll see things that you weren't paying attention to. And that's all I want here. And there are some people, I've looked in the comment section, I've talked to some people who say things like, oh, cannabis will always be a part of my life. And I say, that's great. I'm not trying to get people, I have no dog in the fight. I just know that there's a lot of people in my community who could benefit from just taking a step back and evaluating not only cannabis, everything in your life, honestly. Evaluate everything in your life. Taylor Dean, a longtime viewer, first time here on your live. Taylor, thank you so much for your attention. I appreciate you. I see you got is it a cat? Is that a cat or a gerbil? I probably got the animal wrong. But thank you so much for your attention. It means a lot to me. Every single person in this community means a lot to me. Anytime I get to come on live and, when I make videos, like I'm actually living my dream, getting to post content for you all. So it means a lot. Just know that. Shannon from Texas. Okay, what's up, Shannon? Yeah, T-Break Survival Guide. Ooh, Kelly with a great question here. Ooh, great question. What about people who use cannabis as their primary medication for anxiety and depression? So, Kelly, if cannabis is what you use for your anxiety and depression, and it's helpful, you don't have to stop. I'm not telling people, and look, and I'm online. I'm just your friendly therapist, just giving people tips on how to potentially improve your life. If something can be helpful, take it. If you don't think it's going to be helpful, say, nah, Kojo, I'd rather do something else. And that's fine. So you don't have to stop. You don't have to stop. You don't have to stop. Now, if you ask me, is cannabis the best way to take care of anxiety and depression long-term? I would say it's not ideal. But if you ask me, can I see a situation where cannabis can work better than Prozac, Alexa, Zoloft, and Abilify for anxiety and depression? I'd say, yeah, I can see situations where the cannabis would work better for you than the pharmaceutical drugs. I can see that because I've had patients who've said that before. So I don't discount the fact that it can be very helpful. So if this is your primary medication for anxiety and depression, you don't have to stop. You don't have to stop. But you can ask yourself, is it helping out the anxiety and depression? If it is, you may be in a good position where you can just stay put. If you feel like you can get to a higher version of yourself, if you feel like you want to try something else for your anxiety and depression, you can consider something else. So I don't ever, like if it's been working for you, you don't have to necessarily stop. But I just want to educate people and say, hey, and talking about psychedelics, with psilocybin, that's a whole different psilocybin and ketamine. That's a whole different side of medicine. But I'm very interested in both of those things. We should be researching and looking into ketamine more. Of course, a version of ketamine is already approved as a nasal spray for depression. But why don't we talk more about ketamine and esketamine? Why don't we talk more about psilocybin and alternative methods? So I'm not like trying to push drugs onto people, but people think that. I only ever hear you talk about tea breaks, and you never ever talk about the benefits and the good it does for our patients. Celia, I appreciate you for saying this. And look, when it comes to the benefits, I do believe that there are benefits. I think I talked about it earlier on this live stream, where I talked about how it can help to stimulate appetite in certain populations. And the general public more so thinks that, it's harmless. That's what I'm getting. So I'm just here to educate people. Whatever you do with the information is up to you. But I think people should be informed about the risks and the benefits. Like, I'm all for mental health awareness. And I know that once you fix this up here, once this is right, you can do anything you want. A lot of the things that we want to do in our lives, a lot of the issues that we struggle with, if we would just focus on ourselves and every day, day in and day out, make those small steps to, take those small steps. And before you know it, you've made a lot of progress. As your mental health improves, your ability to do improves, your capacity for things to enter into your life becomes greater, right? And that can be, even beyond, tea break and cannabis or whatever. But I'm just here to educate you all about things that can potentially help your life. Okay, I think there's a spam comment. William, I like alcohol, and I go from job to job struggling, and I keep my room dark, and I don't know sometimes. So, William, first of all, thank you for, sometimes when you write this out or say it to somebody, it's cathartic because you hold it inside and you judge yourself because you like alcohol and you go from job to job, right? So in this situation, in this situation, William, the alcohol is definitely helping you out some way, somehow. It's helping you out in the present moment, but it's leading to more problems. And the version of you that is able to control their alcohol intake or cuts back on it or stops, that version of you, William, you'll be able to keep a job. You'll be able to be more consistent with showing up to work on time. All the goals that you want to achieve in life, you'll get there. And I believe in you and the people in this community. When I say community, I really mean community. It's not just a fancy term that I throw around just for togetherness or for cliche purposes. Like, we are all in this together. And William says, I have ADHD, but alcohol is my downfall. And I get so low, I don't have motivation. And it's hard to not drink when I'm bored, man. So, William, once again, you are a hero for a couple of different reasons. You're admitting things that a lot of people struggle to admit. And as men, we don't talk about these things enough. So what do? We isolate. We just stay in our own corner. We just stay off to the side because we'd rather not confront some of these issues. But when you tackle them head on, William, if you can tackle this issue head on, and I'm not even worried about the outcome. I'm not worried about whether you stop drinking or not. I'm just impressed about the fact that you're willing to even admit this and potentially invite the idea of potentially stopping into your psyche. That's impressive. And look, that's why I love this community. ADHD, when we're bored, and I have ADHD, so I know, when we're bored with ADHD, we become destructive. Kind of like my dog. I have a mini Australian Shepherd. When she's bored, she's destructive. She messes up the whole house. She's looking for something to just mess up. When I'm bored, I do things that do not help who I am and the places I'm trying to get to. I cannot be bored. So I have to have a schedule and a routine. When I have a schedule and a routine, I do way better. But with ADHD, the tendency to put too many things on your plate is likely. When I get overwhelmed, I don't do well either. So, William, that's something that we're going to have to figure out. We can't be too bored, but we can't be too overwhelmed. And if you can connect the boredom with the drinking, then when we're bored, can we do something that doesn't bring you as much fulfillment and joy as drinking, but it kind of makes you happy? Can we try that? If you love the Bengals, William, I hate the Bengals, but I'm not sure why I'm thinking about the Bengals. Maybe it's because the Titans got the Bengals offensive coordinator as their coach now. But William, if you love the Bengals, when you're bored, maybe watch some Cincinnati Bengals highlights instead of drinking. It won't make you as happy as alcohol, but you're trying. I will never judge somebody who is trying. I mean, I won't judge in general, but anybody who is trying, you got to clap for that person. You're trying. You see what I'm saying? You're trying. You're giving it. That's very impressive. You are trying. You're doing the best that you can. You're doing the best that you can. So I got nothing but respect for you. I really do. Ebony says, I want something natural with immediate effects. No, not 420. I feel you on that. Bethany, I love you, Kojo. You look. Bethany, I love you too. Thank you so much for your attention. I appreciate you. Kelly, I love you too. Thank you so much for your attention. Y'all can be anywhere in the world, right? I mean, you could be on TikTok. Y'all are watching this live stream. I mean, a couple people are watching on TikTok, but because of the topic, I'm sure that they've, I think that they've suppressed it a little bit because of the topic. So TikTok, I'll leave the stream on, but I'll go on TikTok live later, and but you could be doing anything, and you're watching this, so I appreciate you. I'm reluctant to talk to my doctor about medication. I have a close friend who got really messed up while his dosage was being figured out. Ebony, these things happen sometimes. Some doctors suck. I'm not going to lie to you. Some doctors do suck. Some people get into the field because they just want some money and they don't care about patients. I hate to say that, but that's the truth. We can be honest here. Some people know that, okay, if I get into the field and I write prescriptions, I'll get paid this amount. But I don't want to think about the negative. I acknowledge that it's there, but I do believe that there are providers out there who are willing to work with you and help get you on the right dose of medication. So figuring out the right meds, it is a process. It can take a while. So you have to have hope that things can get better because it can take a while. Jay says, when is the right time to take a break? So it all depends. Somebody earlier was saying that cannabis works for their anxiety and depression. So for that person, maybe they don't have to take a break. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So for that person, they may not have to take a break. But if you feel, at least for me, I can just talk from personal experience, something that I would engage in recreationally here in California. And over time, it was turning into an everyday type of thing. And then when I realized that the things that I had committed to, I could not fulfill those commitments. And then once I realized that my schedule was starting to evaporate, I'm doing this. And look, maybe this could be helpful for anybody, but for me, my mental health is at its best when I'm doing things consistently a certain way. I'm waking up at a certain time every day. I'm sleeping at a certain time every day. I'm eating certain foods. I'm mindful of what I'm putting into my body. I'm mindful of the people who are in my circle. I'm mindful of the things that I'm consuming, whether it's on TV, whether it's in my ecosystem. I'm mindful of everything. When my mental health is at its best, I'm taking notes. I know what that looks like. When my mental health is at its worst, I know what that looks like too. That's when I want to reach for some edibles here and there. I want to, go get drunk. I'm able to realize that. So whenever you feel like you're not at your best mentally, it could be a time to consider a break. Not that you got to take a break, but it could be a time to consider a break. A bit off topic here, but SSRI, erectile dysfunction. So Kyle, for a lot of my patients who were struggling with this, sometimes we will just switch up to a different medication. So sometimes it's as easy as going from Zoloft to Wellbutrin or something like that. Jerome says, hey doc, just wanted to let you know I was able to do my hobbies this week and have a clear mind. Currently doing chores. Congratulations. I don't think people realize how big this is. A lot of times, we take things for granted. We're like, oh, yeah, you did your hobbies. You took out the trash. You want a cookie for it? Yeah, I'll take 3 cookies. That stuff is, it's hard to get that stuff done. You got your hobbies done this week and you have a clear mind. Now, look, Jerome, I think I'm saying it correctly. Jerome, where you are right now, you are in a really good position. You're in a good mental space. So anything that's good that's potentially coming your way, you can grab a hold of it because your mind is clear. You can see things, right? Congratulations. Congratulations. Ashley says, first-hand experience with parent who was negligent and absent due to cannabis use. I know there are people that can be productive citizens and regular cannabis users. I've just seen more often than not the regular use of cannabis destroy a lot of aspects of life. Ashley, you took the words out of my mouth. And also for those people who are familiar with how we do this on the live stream, can somebody drop the magic word in so we can have a quick water break? At the 30-minute mark, we always do a little water break. I got some sparkling water today, so I can't chug it down, but I'm gonna stay hydrated. I completely agree with Ashley. I've seen a lot of people, who, when they introduce cannabis into their life, it has destroyed their life. And a good majority of those folks continue to deny that the substance use was hurting you. The denial is what really keeps you from making the change. Your life is sinking. You can't be present. You can't take care of things. You're like, oh no, I'm good. I'm fine. Because the substance is helping you out in a certain way. And I acknowledge that. But once again, we need to take a step back. Take a step back. And we should all do this regularly in our lives. Take a step back. And I mean, forget cannabis or whatever. Take a step back every now and then and just take a good look at your life. Take a good, hard, and long look at your life, everything in your life, and say, am I pleased with where I'm at? Am I happy with where I'm at? Am I on the path that I want to be on? If you're not, we got to make a change. Got to make a change. Got to make a change. All right, let me drop the magic word in here. Mama Susie, how are you doing? Mama Susie, I love you and I miss you. I hope you're doing good. Oh, I love Mama Susie. That's my pastor's wife. Thank you so much, Mama Susie, for everything you've done for me and for my family. I appreciate that. I know we don't talk as much as we should, but thank you so much. I really love you. I just want to say that. So thank you so much. I really love you. I appreciate that. Mama Susie, that warms my heart. The magic word is cheers. Got some sparkling water here. Let's stay hydrated, y'all. Big cheers. Oh, sparkling water is hard. Ooh. All right. Let me get back to answer some questions. How do you deal with medical gaslighting? Once you realize what's going on, see if you can find a different provider. That's what I would do. Can you talk about adding CBD or cannabis with ADD meds? All right. So look, CBD is the part of cannabis that's not psychoactive. So this is like where you can have the benefits. CBD is different from THC. So there are some CBD products that could be helpful. So yes, in terms of mixing with ADD meds, I would talk to your provider about that. But yeah, CBD is different from THC. UK in the house, how are you doing? Serotonin syndrome. Well, a bit off topic, but I'll answer the question. Serotonin syndrome, it comes from like having too many serotonergic medications. So it's not a paradoxical reaction, because paradoxical is me taking Benadryl to go to sleep tonight, and then instead I'm energized. I should be sleepy, right? But serotonin syndrome is like, I don't know. Let's say you're getting Zoloft from one doctor, and then another doctor is giving you Prozac, and another doctor is giving you another medication that has serotonin in it. Now that wouldn't really happen, but if that happened, you're taking too many serotonergic medications, then that's when you see serotonin syndrome. Mia, thank you for your attention. I appreciate you. Finding the right meds is definitely a journey. It is. It is. You have to believe that you can find the right meds first. I truly believe that. It takes a while. I've completely lost myself suffering with endometriosis. I know my mental, and I know my physical mental symptoms are because I'm stuck on the couch most of the time. I have plans to work on myself while I'm laid up. I'm so happy I discovered your live. Thank you, Maria. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I really love doing this. Like I appreciate being able to go live. It's a privilege. You know, I really appreciate this. Whether it's 36 people on here, whether it's 3,000 people, just the fact that I can interact with real people who are going through real struggles. You know, and I'm a real person going through real struggles. It means a lot to me. Yeah, and Maria, you can't beat yourself up, right? Endometriosis is not fun. And even people who don't know what that is can just look at the word and be like, that word's too long. It doesn't look like that's a fun time that you're having. And you have a lot of insight into the things that you need to change, but we take it one day at a time, one day at a time, just one day at a time. William says, I'm a father in sports betting and all that. I get the reward feeling thinking I'm going to win much money, and drinking, I get the buzz. But thank you. I appreciate it. William, I used to bet on sports a lot. I had an ex-girlfriend who made me stop. I'm happy she did. And William says, I'm going to start going to the gym and focusing on less drinking and hyper-focus on my phone. Definitely want to be a better father and husband. My girl smokes and I don't. I always think about smoking instead, but it's trading one thing for another. So I'm going to hit the gym, I think. And I was told I was ADHD and bipolar. And that's weird. So look, William, you got to give yourself a lot of credit because you know what you have to do. But knowing what you have to do and then doing that thing is two different things. And then ADHD also is knowing what you have to do and still not being able to do it. So you have to give yourself some grace. You know, I'm not sure if you're saying you have bipolar, but once again, bipolar, it makes your situation a bit more difficult. But if you know how the condition affects you and you know what support you need, who can stop you? Who can stop you? I'm like kind of afraid to take a break. Plus, I live in Oregon. Is this part of life and culture? It's not interfering with my life, but I'm also not getting like high. Is this maintain mental health like medication? So Kelly, I live in California, so I know like out here you can get it anywhere. So it's like, oh, we're just in California and we're just having a good time. We're just high. We're just high. And once again, I do believe that some people use it for mental health benefits and it maybe helps with their seizures. So it's not a bad thing, but there are a lot of people who are using this facade of culture or whatever you want it to be to continue a habit that is not helping them at all. And for whatever reason, I don't. And look, I'm not coming for cannabis and the stoner community, as that's what you call it. The stoner community has been very kind to me. Some of the nicest people. I am blessed to have the stoner community wrap their arms around me. I love the love. Literally, I do. I just want to acknowledge that there are certain people who could benefit from just taking a step back. Just take a step back and just look at your life and see if you like what you're seeing. I'm up 3 a.m., 1 a.m., 20 years of no sleep. Is ADHD linked to no sleep? There is a correlation there. There is a correlation there. How you find an appropriate provider for delayed or adult onset ADD? My originally prescribed med is completely ineffective, and I feel as if I need a true evaluation. So, Stacey, look, I will be completely honest with you. So the past year or so, I've worked more. I've started to see more patients, and it's dramatically improved my routine. But I know that if I take on too many responsibilities, I'm like, it's going to overwhelm me. But I do have a vested interest in figuring out this question right here for personal reasons. As somebody with ADHD myself, I would love to figure this out. And I moved to California to be able to promote awareness and use entertainment and all this stuff, social media. That's still my goal, but I have some unfinished business in medicine and psychiatry still. I'm not out the game yet. I'm not out the game yet. And I will need some help. I will need a couple of other providers. Maybe we can do something. But like, Stacey, I'm looking at you. You're smiling. You're happy in your picture. ADHD is not difficult for me to treat personally. It's kind of comes naturally to me. But how do I create a system where we can treat this and help out a lot of people who are suffering? I don't know, but I'm trying to figure that out. Water isn't supposed to burn going down. It's not, but it does. It does. Mama Susie, nice. I've been back on the Bible as well. Me too. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I've been reading my Bible as much as I need to be. But I started watching sermons again. Trying to get back to it. And if you're not a Christian, you can just skip over this part. But I am. You ask questions the same way that you wrote that question. How do you feel about using THC to manage jitters from Adderall? I've had a lot of people tell me this before. I think, if it's helping you out and you run it by your doctor's okay, it might not be a bad thing. But if you're having jitters from a medication, maybe you can make some adjustments. Maybe your doctor could adjust the dose. Maybe they could switch it from XR to IR to XR, give you a different medication. So there's different things that you can do on the medication side of things. But I would run that by your doctor first, Brittany. I really would. Jay, I appreciate you, perspective, mindfulness, and hope are things you provide us. Thank you for being. Jay, I appreciate you. I appreciate the appreciation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Just so scared to take a break. Brittany, I know it's scary. It's scary, and it beats a lot of things that are out there. Like a lot of it's like when I see a patient who's bipolar taking Triliptal. I'm like, that medication doesn't work. It's candy. I have a lot of different thoughts, but I don't want to get too medication specific because I don't want people who are taking that medication. I don't want to get into trouble there, but it does be a lot of things that we have. My son's bipolar and has found his balance with mushrooms. Mama Susie, I want to study psilocybin. I want to do it with some university because I truly believe that psilocybin can be a game changer for people, but it's not something that you can just wander into and just say, "Oh, I'm taking psilocybin." I think that can be traumatic for a lot of people, but there's something with psilocybin that can be very, very helpful. It can be very helpful. Yeah, so I want to say psilocybin so much more. Kelly, what was I saying? I forgot. You said how cannabis has been great for my sleep. We have to use it thoughtfully and responsibly. I agree. That'd be amazing. You don't alone people in collaboration system. That's correct. My favorite Bible story. My favorite Bible story. I'll give you the one that came to my mind immediately. I have to go with David and Goliath. And I think it's because I'm a sports fan and I love the underdog. Like I love the team that is on the third string quarterback. Their star wide receiver is injured. Their star defensive lineman is playing, but he has a flu. You have a first year coach, and you're going up against the defending champions. Like I love the underdog story of the misfits who take down the big dogs. So for some reason, I love David and Goliath. Yeah, that was my first thought. I wanted to say something else. I feel like that's kind of generic. But nah, David and Goliath, like the underdog versus the big dog. And I felt like an underdog. I still feel like an underdog in my life. So, the underdog attacking the big dog. Good question, though. Thank you for asking me that. Really good question. Lion's mane. Okay. And there's so many different things that work for a lot of different people. Some people say it's THC. Some people say it's shrooms. Some people say it's, fixing their diet. It can be a lot of different things, but I definitely think that we need to research more than just medications. So when people say that I'm being paid by the pharmaceutical companies, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm happy that we have a version of ketamine that's approved. as a nasal spray for treatment-resistant depression. Like, of course, like we should have been looking into ketamine or esketamine. We need to look into psilocybin more. It's going to bring a lot of healing. And talk about psilocybin. People say that they've been able to use mushrooms, and that has done what 10,000 hours of therapy could do for them. So anything that can bring help to people who are suffering, we should look into that. We should really look into that. Let me see what the folks on TikTok are saying. And by the way, y'all can go ahead and just ask away. Definitely ask away on TikTok too. TikTok, a bit hard to see because they're running a bit slower than we are here on the active live stream. Why is this supposed to be going down? Brittany, I'm happy you made it. But yeah, it's not meant to make people feel bad for whatever they use to take care of themselves. But you just have to understand that if you don't like where you are in life, you can make a change. And especially for people who started smoking for mental health reasons or, to help with sleep, you started using it for a clear reason, right? So you're not just going to stop out of nowhere. But maybe it's the fact that it threw you off your schedule. Maybe it's the fact that all of a sudden it became hard to do things that you used to do all the time. Maybe it's because your memory started to be affected, right? But if you have a reason for stopping or for wanting to stop, look into that. Like I said, sometimes you have to literally get up and zoom out. All right. I did this earlier in the live stream, but it's very important. Right now, I can see everything that's going on. I can see all across the living room. I can see into the rooms. I can see into the kitchen. I can see outside. Because I've taken a couple of steps back. I know what's going on. But when I come so close right here, I can't see anything. I can't. It's going to be hard to see anything because I haven't zoomed out. So if there's some danger around me, how can I account for that? I'm not going to be able to account for that because I'm not set up to catch those things. So, and a lot of times when I'm talking to somebody and they're very defensive about a certain thing, I'm not going to challenge them. I'm not going to say, oh, you have to stop drinking. No, you don't have to stop drinking. You don't have to stop smoking. You don't have to do anything. But if you are willing to try some different things to help get you to a place that you haven't been before, it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt. And we have to ask ourselves that sometimes. Am I trying to do something that has never been done before? I am. I have to look at my habits. Am I going to get to where I need to get to, doing the same thing over and over and over? And I'm a fairly stubborn person. So I have to do something over and over. And then one day I'm like, I don't think this is going to work. Let me switch it up. And then you're like, why didn't I switch it up earlier? Right? A lot of times that can be attributed to the people that you keep in your circle, which different conversation, but it's important. I graduated with my undergrad degree in psychology and sociology back in 2017. I've gone into the mental health field and burnt out early in the beginning of 2021. I've taken steps back and done so many different jobs. With zooming out again, I want to go into data analytics and health, specifically mental health. That's amazing. And this year is a great year to just take a step back and just like, what do I want to do? Is this what I want to do? Or am I doing this because I think I should be doing it? Am I doing this to impress people? Like, what do I really want to do? I like that. And Jay, I'll answer your question in a second. I also wanted to try going to research trials that include psilocybin and other psychedelics. It's so understated and fascinating. I think it's fascinating. And it can disrupt the pharmaceutical drug industry. It could. Tell us your secrets to maintaining a happy life. Oh, Jay, what a question. I would say figure out what your priorities are. And work to understand yourself. So I'll just use myself. So
my priorities, it was God, family, and friends, and my purpose, right? And when I say family, I'm talking about my immediate family and also my online family. God, family, friends. Those are like my priorities. Not like, those are my priorities, right? That's what's important to me. That's going to dictate how I go about doing things that I need to do. So if that's important to me, what type of person do I have to be to keep those things as a priority while still doing the things that I want to do? A lot of intention has to go into this. A lot of intention has to go into this. And pattern recognition. I know that I have ADHD. I know I get easily distracted. I know that it's hard for me to stay on track. All right. So what am I going to do? I'm going to surround myself with people that help to keep me accountable. I cannot run away from accountability. So the people in my circle, and right now on a personal level, I'm going through a season of my life where I'm losing a lot of friends. They're still alive, but I've chosen to make different lifestyle choices for myself. Because once I'm taken care of, once I'm making healthy choices for myself, I can show up for my community more consistently. And like I said, I'm going to be streaming at some point in April. I'm going to be streaming every single day. I've said that, and that's going to happen. I'm going to stream every day because I want to stream and make content and be consistent with it. Yeah, you can get burnt out, but I got the energy. I'm ready. So what are the things that are impeding me from doing that? A lot of it is the people who you keep in your circle. People you keep in your circle. I've had to let go of a lot of people because they're not bringing a lot of value to my life. We're not running in the same direction. If the people around you don't want the same things that you want, at some point you're gonna have to sacrifice either your dreams or those people. And I'm not sacrificing my dreams. So I keep my priorities in check: God, family, friends, community, right? And anything that's helping me get to where I want to get to, I'm bringing in my life. Anything that's not helping me get to where I need to get to, I get rid of those things really fast. Negative energy, Jay, it has to go out fast. Negative, and I used to keep negative energy around because I'm like, oh, that's the homie, that's my guy. We've been friends for so long. Nah, they gotta go. If I'm talking to a girl, oh, she's so pretty, I like having her around. The energy's not right. She gotta go. Business. This year already, we're what, March? Just in March, I've turned down more money this year than I've turned down maybe the past 2-3 years combined. If a certain deal is not aligned with what I want to do and where I want my brand to go, I don't want that money. Is not for me. Nah, this community means a lot to me. So I'm just moving with a lot more intention. And when you take things that you don't want, when you do things that you don't want to do for a temporary result, yeah, you'll get the money, but it won't feel self-serving. Yeah, you'll keep that girl around. What? So you can sleep with her? Because why do guys do this? But it's not serving where you want to go. You keep your friends around. Oh, because I want to be by myself. All these things are impeding you from getting to where you want to get to. So I always say that all of us, we are always a couple of hard decisions away from living the life that we want to live. So it keeps me happy. And I'm a very happy person right now. I'm very content. But behind that happiness and contentment is a bunch of really, really difficult decisions. One after the next, one after the next. And I'm not afraid to, make those decisions. I'm going to choose me. And choosing me is choosing everybody else. It's choosing my community, but I got to pour into me first. So a lot of intention has to go into this, Jay. A lot of intention. Jessica on TikTok, what do you mean by a sibling with an undiagnosed mental disorder? What do you mean? Okay, so we talked about that. How do you feel about drinks outside of taking a break? Drink versus smoking. So Maria, I don't drink, but some people like to drink and replace that. I mean, between the drinking and the smoking, I think the drinking is more harmful. But it's like, I don't know if that game was even like a a productive game to play. Like, what's worse for you, like drinking or smoking? You know, like if a patient is struggling with both, I would target the alcohol first. I would get the alcohol off first before the drinking, before the marijuana. Um, you said the drink. THC drinks. It's the same thing as THC as well. But I mean, some people respond differently to that. I've had one of these drinks before. It made me nauseous. But if now I will say this, the delivery of the THC does matter, because I think it's more harmful to use the vape THC pens as opposed to like an edible. So the delivery does matter. It does matter. Do you serve in the church? I don't have a current church right now, but I'm working on finding a church. My intention about building a godly community. I am, but not everybody in my community will be Christians. My community is anybody who wants to do better for themselves, people who want to help out other people. And if you want to know about God, all right, I got you. I'll talk to you about God, but I'm not going to come and be like, you got a moment to talk about Jesus? Nah, just come as you are. And if you want to talk about, Christianity, I got you. I'll tell you the little that I know. I need to read my Bible and learn a bit more. I need to learn some more. Zoloft for depression and anxiety. It was working by full solo. Couldn't get out of bed. I'm doing everything possible to get better. Everything hurts so much. I feel so stupid. So Chantel, this is what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do is you're gonna go back to the person who prescribed you that Zoloft and let them. I mean, maybe screenshot this and let them know it was working, but then it stopped working. So you have a couple of different options. Maybe you tell your provider this, and then your doctor increases it. All right, boom, 50 wasn't working. We try 100, try 150. Or like wherever schedule you're on. And if it's still not working, we're gonna try something else. But see, that's the thing about like depression. Depression doesn't allow your brain to like register positivity. So it's gonna be hard to be hopeful. So you might have to trick yourself into being hopeful, and then you start to feel more hopeful as you have reasons to be hopeful. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Because as I was talking, I was kind of like, confusing myself, but then I had moments where I'm like, I think it's making sense. Let me know if that didn't make sense for you. But taking a tea break for myself, social edibles to track why I intake better. Okay, cool. Try to quit, but it's so hard. Sometimes I want to not feel bad, and I do. Sometimes smoking or taking cannabis doesn't help either. Yeah. It can be difficult. And once it just might take some time. And I gain nothing by people going on tea breaks. I gain nothing. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people out there who know that the quality of their lives would get so much better if they took a step back completely. And that step back might include taking a break from substances, taking a break from, family members and friends who don't have your best interest in mind. But just taking a step back. Let's take a step back and figure out if we're okay with the path that we're on. Let's take a step back. But like, if you need TC to sleep tonight, you're not a bad person. It's not gonna, it's not gonna ruin your life if you drink tonight or smoke tonight. No. But I'm talking about daily habits that we can turn into a lifestyle. That's what we're aiming for. Chris, anytime, my guy. I had the same conversation with my pastor about harm reduction and the use of THC in my walk of faith. Okay, and look, I don't know too much about the Bible. I'm still learning, but if you use THC, I don't think it makes you a bad Christian. I don't think it makes you a bad Christian. That's just my opinion, but somebody could say, somebody with a theologian could say otherwise. So, Ms. Mary Levin Life. I assume you're loving life based off the name. Hello, I'm new here. I was told to get therapy due to the fact that I lost my mom, but I'm new to my state. It's hard. Mary, I'm very sorry to hear about your loss. Let's start off there. And however much time you need to grieve, go ahead and take as much time as you need. And then you're new to your state. So, and sometimes when I like answering questions that I don't know the answer to, but these questions frustrate me because I know that sometimes in order to get therapy, you have to have employment and insurance. And in order to find a therapist, you have to have a therapist who is in network with your insurance. And so many things have to go right in order to get the right mental health help. And for some people, it's not attainable. And if you're waiting, if it's taking you a while to get a therapist, do whatever you can on your own. Don't judge yourself. If you find self-help, if you find this community to be helpful, lean into it. If somebody else's something is more helpful, lean into that. But be as selfish as you can with your mental health. And also just understand that you don't have to grieve really quickly. Take as much time as you need, Morgan the Void, what's going on? How you doing? I'm happy you can make it too. And Jay's, look, Mary, this community, that's what I like about this community because, and I was telling, my Uber driver on the way here, I don't post content to try and convince people of anything. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. And, no, I'm posting content for the people who appreciate this content. And everybody else, there's people out there who could use this live stream right now. And maybe in 6 months, they'll find one of my videos and they'll come to my page. I'm posting for the people who want this content. They will find it eventually. It's just my job to put it out there and let the powers that be take over. They will find this content. But I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. And the people who leave hate comments and the people who I have to block and the negative folks, I'm not trying to convince them to come over. I just want to lean to the people here. So Mary, you'll find that a lot of people, care about you in this community. Okay. And look, Mary, if you're only on here for 5 minutes, I appreciate the time that you were here. I hope it was a good restroom break and take it easy on yourself. Morg, I'm doing good tonight. I'm happy to be back on live stream, so I'm feeling good. Aiden says, web substances are what gets you through the day-to-day life because you're just struggling so hard to even wake up every day. All right, Aiden, this is a good question, and this is a real question. So thank you for asking it. I want real questions. I don't want the easy ones. This is a real question. So Aiden, if substances are, let's say substances are what gets you through life every single day, and it's hard to wake up every day. So tomorrow, Saturday, Aiden, and you wake up and you want to use a substance, I say, go ahead and use. Don't be just if you've been doing it, you don't have to make any dramatic change. I mean, do what's been getting you through, Now, depending on what you're doing and how detrimental it is, within reason. But if your lifestyle is a certain way and it's set up to help get you through the day and it involves substances, okay, don't try and fix it all in one day or 1 week. You can continue with what you're doing and then figure out what's one small thing that I can do every day to make life a little bit better. You really have to take it down to baby steps as if you're a kid. Maybe if you have to get high to get out of bed, okay, all right, go ahead and get high, get out of bed. All right. Can we work out today? Can we try and eat healthy today? Can we try and, link up with a positive friend? What are the things that bring you joy? And how can we start doing some of those things? Because if you have to get high to get out of bed and then you wake up tomorrow, you're all right, I'm not going to get high. You might be in bed all day. And you've probably been doing this for a long time. So, wake up, go on, get your pre-roll, light it up, get high, do what you have to do. But then when you're awake, figure out what's a small thing that I can do to get me a little bit closer to where I want to be. And the way you do that small thing, give yourself credit. And before you know it, you become strong enough to if the substances have been helping you get through life, you can't tackle it in one day. Tackle something small. Tackle something small. I'm just a kid. I'm 21. Drinking and smoking to get by isn't life anymore. Really, right? Yeah, Aiden. Look, and you're 21, but you'll be 22 soon. And then when I was 22, I realized that life was getting real. Ken, I got some water here. Life is getting real, but you judging yourself and hating yourself is not going to help you out. So if you have to get high tomorrow to get out of bed, go ahead and light up that pre-roll. Do what you got to do. Get high and get high. Just get high. But as you're going through your life, you have to make me one promise. Do one small thing to make your life a little bit better. And before you know it, a day will come where you'll wake up miraculously and you'll be living your life and you realize, oh snap, I forgot to smoke today and I'm doing just as good. Life is not going to get any easier. You just get stronger. You get a lot better over time. So the problems that you have, they may not go anywhere. So if you're waiting for the perfect circumstance to, stop, it's not going to come, Nobody is coming to rescue you, but the version of yourself that can rescue you is within you. You have to just tap into it. So take it step by step. Before you know it, a day will come where you're going to have a great day and you didn't have to drink or smoke. And then if you do have a drink or smoke, it's by choice and not because you have to. You see what I'm saying? And that's my only thing. Like if you're going to, drink or smoke, just make sure that you're doing it because you want to, but not because you have to. It's a big difference there, right? Big difference there. I missed a couple of comments. That's a hard part, THC. We use it so much, it's hard to know it's because it's such a functional thing to take. I agree. In place of pain meds for chronic pain. But honestly, when I use it too often, it really does take a step back, like you said. Any medication taken for long periods of time every day becomes less effective. Jessica, yeah. It's just like the kids who, Jessica, thank you for saying this. It's like the kids who take Adderall to focus, in class. After you take 10 milligrams of Adderall, you're going to need 20 at some point. After you take 10 of Vyvanse, at some point you'll need 20. Before you know it, you're at 40 milligrams. Not because you're a bad person, but that's how tolerance works. And with pain meds for chronic pain, me personally, if I have to choose between, pain meds and THC, I'm taking the THC over Vicodin. That's just me. But like Jessica said, after you use this for so long, they start to run together. It might be hard to zoom out and just ask yourself, like, hold up, is this thing helping me or is it hurting me? And I know people who will use those smoke occasionally or use THC every now and then, and that's their cadence of how they go about things, and they're still able to zoom out. So you don't have to drop this thing forever. And I think when people hear that, it makes them feel better. You don't have to give up like smoking forever. Maybe you do it every third. I mean, but you just want to make sure that it's not controlling you. That you're doing it because you want to, not because you have to. Not because you have to. I have the same exact mindset. I'm not here to correct anyone. I'm here to share my perspective. More exactly. I'm just looking for my people, and I'm finding them. I'm just looking for my people. Mark says, I'm in that boat because it's my only source of comfort. It's the only thing I know I can't screw up. More look, and I'm talking like this because I've been in that perspective. And this social media journey is been a blessing for me, but people don't see how things are on my end. It's difficult to sometimes connect with people. I can connect better online than like in person because when I talk to people and like this in my everyday life, people want to know like, oh, so social media, like what do you do in California? Like, oh, you must like do all these great things. Like I can't just have like a regular conversation. So sometimes it's like, dang, I just want to chill. And then, when I was, smoking every day, edibles every day, like I literally, I kid you not, I'll literally come home like this. I'll come home like this. I'm like, man, like, all right, so that girl that I would normally text, she's out of town or like, I'm not going to hit her up. And then I remember, I'm like, oh snap, I still have those 3 edibles from 2 weeks ago. And then I get the biggest smile on my face. I'm like, yeah, because it's like a friend. It's like a friend that's always there for you. You know, like I've been there. So I'm not, people think that, oh, he's some doctor in the news who's being paid off by pharmaceutical companies. No, I'm talking from personal experience. The comfort you get from substances, there's a reason why I use it all the time, because that comfort, you can't really get it from humans. You can have the worst day. Your car could break down, your boss could cuss you out, you know, your person could break up with you, but you can come home and you have a little bit of, you know, you got some Moscato there, you got some pre-rolls, you know, just light it up, and then 5 minutes later you feel amazing. There's a reason why people use this stuff. And then it suppresses the negative emotions. So now all that pain, you don't have to deal with the pain anymore. You don't have to deal with the pain anymore. But negative pain is one of our biggest motivators. So if you're suppressing that, now you're not motivated to do. You see what I'm saying? Like, it faces one problem, but it causes another one. You know, like, and we're stuck. We're stuck. You know? Every 5 minutes, you manage sobriety is a win. Sobriety is a journey. I go, ooh, Sarah, I like that. Ooh, Mickey Ficky, I like that. Recovery is not linear. Yeah, I agree. Amen. Yeah. Maury, everything, like, you will get better. You will get better. And Aiden, yes, don't judge yourself. You can't judge yourself. Don't judge yourself. Because you're going to want to feel bad for yourself. Don't feel bad for yourself. You're not a victim. You're just a human having a very human experience. And you're going to get better. You'll get better. You will get better. So when you know, like, where you're going, or why worry? Like, Aiden, if I told you that in 7 years from now, you're going to win the lottery and get $5 million, you'll be 28. So you'll live life with a lot of confidence. You say, okay, all right, in 7 years, you know, I'm sure the good Lord give me life, I'm going to get $5 million. So I'm not sweating. I'm going to do my thing, go to school, have fun. And then as time gets closer, you start looking into all these houses and cars. I'm going to get this money because you know that you're going to be fine, right? So if you know that you're going to win and make it at the end of the day, we don't have to stress so much. We're going to be okay. We ain't got to stress. We're going to be okay. You know. Let me see. Trish, I read your comment. Very, very sorry to hear about that. If you got to, you know, get like authorities or somebody, you know, please do what you have to do to take care of yourself. Yeah, a tea break is a tolerance break. Felt that for real. No payments. Oh, and look. If you're new here to this live stream, whatever medications your doctor or prescriber has given to you, that's what you should be following. This is not medical advice. It's not meant to tell you to take or not take anything. So if you've been given, you know, your payments, take your payments. Like, do what your doctors told you, you know? Yep, and I can relate to your situation so much because I'm very passionate about mental health and helping people heal, but I'm also a comedian, which is such a fun person combo. Maury, I'd like to see some of your clips. I do comedy as well, and it is a very fun personality combo. And look, that's the cool thing about comedy. It's cathartic. You can literally make something of your pain. It doesn't have to be wasted. Like, the trauma is not wasted. The trauma is funny. You know, once you process it, obviously. The trauma is funny. You know, if you can look at it from that perspective. Trish, you got this. I'm praying for you. You got it. SL, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Definitely working and doing my best to work towards my own home and business before 32. Currently going to school for mechanics and doing my own mobile mechanic business. Truly appreciate just being able to hear. It's okay to be where I am right now. I realize yeah, Aiden, you can get, I promise you can get to where you want to get to, but you can't judge yourself. You can't judge yourself. You have to be Brett Favre. You say you're 21. I don't know if you remember Brett Favre, but there was a quarterback in the NFL, and his name was Brett Favre. He played for the Green Bay Packers. He won a Super Bowl. Then he lost the Super Bowl as well. But Brett Favre, quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, he threw a lot of touchdowns, but guess what? He threw a whole lot of interceptions. But the best thing about Brett Favre, he could play a lot of games, and he didn't miss too many games, and he was hard-nosed, and he was tough. He played through injury. The best thing about Brett Favre is that he could throw an interception, a pick six. The other team takes it back for a score. The very next drive, he comes out to that field, and he pretends like it never happened. He pretends like it never happened. It never happened. Literally, you threw a pick. The other team scored. You go back out to the field. Instead of handing the ball off, no. He starts firing it back in. He didn't let the mistakes phase him. And if you look at all the quarterbacks in the NFL, when it comes to interceptions, Brett Favre is up on the list. He's probably top 10 in interceptions in all of NFL history. He made a lot of mistakes, but he never let the mistakes get to him. So you can literally be high for 3 weeks in a row. That 22nd day, you wake up, okay, it's cool. All right, that was then, this is now. You have to have that mindset, because the worst part about the substance use and not feeling like you are where you want to be is the shame and the judging yourself. Because it's not really the drugs that slowed you down. You did drugs for a little bit, then you stopped. But what slowed you down was your mindset. You feeling bad for yourself. You feeling like you'll never make it. You judging yourself, beating yourself up. All that is, you're wasting time. You don't mean to do it, but you're wasting time. You literally make a mistake. Like, take somebody who's watching this live stream. You can watch this live stream right now, and after it cuts off, you can get violently high. Like, high. You wake up the next day, okay, it's all good. That does not reflect who we are and what we're going to do in the direction that we want to go in. Cool. All right, it's all good. I'm going to bounce back. And you want to be around people who help you realize that. And what you're going to do is, when you take these steps to improve your life, you're going to realize that there's some people who don't want to do that for their lives. So what's going to happen? They're going to make you feel bad for taking these steps. They're going to judge you. They're going to say, bro, you think you can be sober? You were high last week. We were doing drugs together. What do you mean you're sober now? And then they'll say stuff like, okay, all right, whatever. Do this thing. You'll be back in like a couple of weeks or a couple of days. That person, out. You're out of here. They're out. Not somebody keeping your circle. They're gone. That's addition by subtraction. And the friend that picks you up and keeps you holds you accountable, those are the ones that you need. PTSD episodes make preventing relapse so difficult. You relate for hours on end until that next hit. Dylan, if you relapse, hey, relapsing is a very human thing to do. You're a human. You messed up. It's all good. We'll get back on track. We're cool. It's okay. We relapse. It's all good. It's all good. I'm back. It's time. I'm back. It doesn't represent who you are and where you're trying to get to. You're just a human who did a very human thing. Baby girl, like, who did I take a picture with? Definitely T-Breaks from Creative. Okay. All right. So the relationship that we have with like failing, we're all on, look, we're all in different areas of our mental health journey. So, take your time. But once, failure doesn't phase you, it is what it is. It is what it is. I had a comedy show on Wednesday in Culver City. I bombed so bad. I mean, like, it was an awful bomb. Nobody was laughing. I hadn't bombed like that in a couple of months. And guess what? I had a great time. Afterwards, I went and I smiled at everybody. I learned their names. I was like, okay, I'm just happy to be here. It's a part of life. I've had shows where I bombed, and then the very next show is a great show. You can't control these things. I'm just happy for the at bat. I'm just happy for the at bat. Yeah, I don't even talk about creating that much, so I probably have to talk about more substances. The best healers are the ones who have been at rock bottom and had to heal themselves first. More, and I have been there. I have been to rock bottom. I mean, look, I've been to the bottom where it wasn't even a rock there. Like I've been there. I've been there, and I go back to rock bottom in different areas of my life. It happens. But when your mindset is like locked in, you'll be good regardless. And and that's why I preach mindset so much. You have to take care of your mental health. For some people, you go get treated for depression, get some antidepressants. For some people, go take care of your ADHD. Some people go get a therapist. Some people cut off that toxic friend. For some people, go get a job. Give yourself a routine. But once things start to make sense up here, you're in the driver's seat. And then you're good to go. You'll make mistakes, but now you're good to go. Because you know that things can go bad. Like if, let's say, I lose everything. And I don't know. Let's say I lose everything. Something happens. It's on the news. Dr. Cota. All right, cool. Give me a couple of years. I'm going to be right back. I promise you. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Because I believe. Now, I don't want to do that, but I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Yeah. No anything that makes you feel bad about yourself, evaluate why is I thinking about life? Why do I feel bad about myself? Why do I feel the need to change myself? Like why? On TikTok, someone says any help for people with borderline personality disorder, does it get better? It does get better. With BPD, it can be helpful to maintain a friendship with somebody who has a good relationship with themselves. Jay Jackson, I've learned a lot from watching your videos. I've been in therapy for quite a few months. I want to give it a full chance. I currently smoke to get through the day, but I want to break. I just don't know how to be okay with all the overwhelming emotions or depression. I feel sober. How can I get past this? Jay Jackson, take it a day at a time. A day at a time. Like I was telling Aiden, if you have to get high tomorrow to get through the day, it's okay. Roll up. I roll up. What was that Wiz Khalifa song? Roll up. Don't judge yourself. But figure out one small thing to do to help get you closer to your goal. And one day you realize that you don't need as much. And then one day you don't need anything. And then, and I tell people all the time, because sometimes people are like, oh, do I have to stop like using substances for the rest of my life? No. You just want to reevaluate your relationship with it. Because once you have the power back, maybe, a year down the line, you're like, okay, yeah, I'll go drink for whatever, and for somebody's wedding, or like you have control over the situation, but you don't want to feel helpless and feel like you need the thing to get through life. That's when it gets tricky. Nobody starts at day 30, right? Yeah, you started day one. You started day one. Sticky says thoughts on Seroquel. It's a good medication. I use it for a lot of my patients. It was a good medication. I can't recommend Seroquel to you though. I don't want to get in trouble. But that's something that I prescribe. Yeah, good point. If you're on a road trip and pop a tire, you don't go back to the starting destination and fix it flat. Yeah, exactly. Pop a donut and keep moving. Pop the donut and keep moving. And anything in your life that helps you feel more confident to keep moving, keep that in your life. Sometimes it's that person who's in your ear who's really annoying, and you're like, oh, man, get out of my ear. Like, you're annoying me. But they keep you accountable. You have to stay positive. And keep in mind that positivity is not our natural default as humans. So if you have people in your life who are always negative and they can't see the positivity, they're not bad people. They're just living life on that default mode because your brain is meant to keep you alive. That's why you get anxious. When you're anxious, people with anxiety live longer because they don't leave the house. They're always like, your brain is designed to keep you safe and to keep you alive. And we thank God that our brains do that. Cool. We got it. Thank you. Now, you have to challenge some of those negative thoughts. But the negative is our default setting. I truly believe that. Your brain's going to be on. It's like when you get a new toy or like a system or a game or like a camera. You have to adjust it for the settings that you want. You're gonna be negative automatically. So you have to rewire your. That's what they have therapy, CBT. It helps you change how you look at things. And people are like, oh my gosh, this is magic. It's not magic. It's just rewiring how you look at certain things, if that makes sense. Happy for the half bad. I'm gonna use that. Okay. Kane, the tea break is for cannabis, but I mean, we've talked about alcohol here. My video that I'm gonna post, my monthly CBS video is gonna be about people who are trying to give up nicotine and vaping. Somebody mentioned alcohol. So even though it's called Tea Break Survival Guide, it really is just for anybody who is trying to make those positive changes in their life. Yeah. Look, yes, and and Jay Jackson, if your mom is watching this and you tell your mom's like, "Who's this therapist who told you to get high tomorrow?" I said, "That's me. It's me, ma'am." And once you know the long-term goal, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm not reinforcing it, but I want you to feel bad about yourself. And it's gonna be hard to. And look, if you've been smoking every day for the past 4 years, it's gonna be very difficult to just wake up one day and you're done. Is that realistic? And when that's the expectation, maybe you can stop cold turkey. You last for like 6 days, and then you're like, I gotta smoke. And then you smoke, and then you're like, I can never be consistent with anything in life. And then you just keep smoking. No, baby steps. And look, the way you feel about something, the way you feel is very important. The way you feel is very important. I was having a debate with a friend, we're talking about relationships. And we're talking about how, like, when you're dating a woman, when you no longer make her feel a certain way, that's when the relationship starts to, dissolve. And at first we were like, man, like, so if we have a bad day or we don't make our ladies feel a certain way, they want to leave. And after I thought about it, I said, it does kind of make some sense. Not that you should leave after a bad month or a rough patch, but the way people feel about themselves in the world, the way you feel is very important, because that determines the course of your actions. So we do have to feel a certain way. Like this is how you see behaviors become habits. How do you feel about what you do? And look, if you've been smoking for 4 years and you just stopped for 1 week, anybody can have a good week. Maybe you had the best week of all time and you didn't feel like smoking. But when things get hard again, what are you gonna do? Instead of trying to find like a quick fix or a hack, how about you become the person who can tolerate maybe relapsing here and there and not letting that throw you off the track? Because that's a person who's built to last. You have to build yourself up for long-term sustainability. How are you meant to go on tea break when you feel like your friendships and relationship and work are impacted by weed usage? Now, are your friendships and relationships and work being enhanced by weed usage? I have to make sure that I'm on the right track here. Someone on TikTok says, does smoking actually help or make it worse? TikTok, I believe it makes it better, in the present moment. But it can lead to, not that it will, but it could lead to more issues in the future. But Kane, just clarify here. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. But to my knowledge, substance use does affect your friendships, relationships, and work and everything. Affects it all. Yeah, I've seen this a lot, and I think you could build a habit before 21 days. I'm in therapy. I've learned to have CPTSD and ADHD, so my usage makes more sense. That's why diagnosis is helpful. Not letting my feelings take over and control something and take control of something I'm struggling with. Well, now that you've admitted it, now you can slay the dragon. Hey, Aiden, hey, I'm happy you joined this live stream. I'm happy you caught this, because tomorrow you're gonna wake up and you'll be positive. So tomorrow you may be sober. You hit another rough patch, but when you hit a rough patch, I don't care what you do to cope with it. Just understand that you can live the life that you want to live. You're a couple of hard decisions away from living your best life. But whatever you do in between that doesn't help you get closer to your goal, don't judge yourself for it. You're doing the best that you can. I say it enhances those things. But Kane, look, in the beginning, it could enhance friendships. Yeah. Look, if everybody is high, who's having a problem? We're all having a good time. Having a good time. If you're, high with your significant other, are y'all arguing? I've never seen two high people argue. Think about it. I've never seen a couple high on drugs and they're not having a good time. They're always having a good time. They're having a great time. You're not arguing. You're not arguing about, you forgot to pay the bill. You forgot to, you forgot to flush the toilet. You forgot to put the cap back on the toothpaste. You forgot to pick up the kids. If you're high, you're not arguing. You're just having a good time. Now, the work part, I depending on the type of job you have, because certain jobs, like I couldn't go to work high. It wouldn't work. But yeah, I've never seen a couple who's been high who has not been having the time of their life. Oh my God. My dog. No, my dog is with my family on the East Coast. I've been traveling so much, but I miss my dog. You're either laughing, cuddling. Right. You're having a great time when you're on substances, which is why it's hard to kick the habit. The damage that comes from being on drugs, it doesn't happen in an immediate moment. You have some good moments, and like you're gonna have a great time, but there might be some devastation that you have to clean up and deal with after the fact. Titans, are you in Tennessee? I'm not in Tennessee. I hope to have a home in Tennessee one day, or a small apartment in Tennessee one day, because I love my Titans. I grew up in Nashville. I'm a big fan. I'll be there multiple times during the football season. Hopefully my schedule will allow me to do so, but I love the Titans with all of my heart. I'm a huge fan, and Nashville has a special place in my heart. I'm an LA boy now, but I love Nashville. On TikTok, somebody says my BPD partner split on me and is now with someone else. Will he even think or remember me? So on TikTok, I don't know if he'll think or remember you, but you can also make a decision to leave that relationship. Or if you want to wait for them, that's fine. But don't let their actions determine how you want to live your life, if possible. You miss my dog? Yeah, I miss Zoe too. I've been admitting to my faults, and it's been holding me accountable for sure, but it's still a struggle. Only saying this to give hope to whoever's struggling out there with the things. Yeah. Admit your faults. Once you diagnose a problem, we can get to the solution. It's one of the first things that they taught me in school. You have to get the diagnosis right. How are you looking at a patient and you don't know what diagnosis they have? The treatment for ADHD looks different from the treatment for bipolar, which is different from the treatment for depression or unipolar depression, right? So let's figure out what's going on, and that'll let us know what we have to do, right? Step by step, one thing at a time. Okay, so quick question. How do you feel about weed being legal in some states and illegal in others? Great question, Jay Jackson. I think it should be legal everywhere, not because I want everybody to get high, but I think it should be legal everywhere because I don't think people should go to jail for possession of marijuana. I think we have more important battles to fight in this country. So I don't think it should be. I think we should legalize it, and then tax the hell out of it if you want to. But as you legalize it, we need more people speaking up about the potential dangers of it, so people don't think that it's harmless. Because that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of people who are saying, "Oh, like you can't overdose on marijuana. Like, it's like nothing bad can happen. I beg to differ. A lot of bad things could happen. Not that they will happen, but once again, you should just know the risks and benefits of anything before you engage in it. And I would hate for people to be uninformed and, go out a path that they're not sure that they wanted to do. Working in recovery, I find that those who use to escape. Sometimes that looks like a good time. Ooh, this is especially true if using allows an escape from hard stuff. Yeah. And when your patterns are like, when you've been doing this to cope with life in general, the next time you get into a jam, your first thought is, I gotta drink something. I gotta get high. That's your first thought, because that's what your body tells yourself to do. Okay, I gotta escape. But when you sit there and you deal with that discomfort, you get stronger and stronger and stronger. You get stronger. Hey, look, I wasn't born in this country. The best I can do is run for governor of California. Or I can go back to Ghana and run for president of Ghana. But hopefully I can do that job, remotely, so I can live in LA. I don't get enough from therapy. 4 or 5 minutes over the phone just is new for me, but I have a hard time retaining things. My ADHD meds feel like they don't work when I smoke, but I can't eat otherwise. This is relatable. I get it. Because the ADHD meds suppress your appetite, and then the smoking brings it back up. It makes sense. And this is why I say don't beat yourself up, because you probably did have a legitimate reason to start using. But every so often, just take a step back and evaluate, is this helping or is it hurting? And also, if you have some people who are really close to you, who know you, ask them for their perspective. Say, hey, like, you really know me. Is this thing helping me out or is it hurting? And give them the permission to tell you the truth. Not what they think you want to hear, but give them permission to tell you the actual truth. I also get sold in my new house. I'm asking to get back on Adderall. Hey, it's a life-saving medication. Not for everybody, but it's life-saving. It's definitely not harmless. I had an extreme reaction to weed a few times. I chose to keep smoking for my pain, but yeah, definitely not harmless. Yeah, and Sarah, that's all I want people to know. It's not harmless. So just keep that in mind. What's TikTok saying? Yeah, no, not harmless. So just keep that in mind. The South welcomes you back. Hey, I'm in Huntsville, not too far, Alabama. Your channel helped me through my realization of my diagnosis of ADHD. But a lot of music changed my world. Oh, Ocean. I'm happy to see that. That's what's up. And you're from the South too, so I love the South. Everything in moderation, whether it's marijuana, prescription drugs, or sugary foods. My ADHD takes comfort in sugary sweets. And Crystal, I believe that there's some people who will be able to, yeah, I'll tell you the truth. There's some people that I believe they'll be able to use marijuana in moderation and they won't be as affected. And they could be okay. I see a world where people could do that. Now, prescription drugs, a bit different, because if your doctor prescribed you something, like if you're bipolar and your doctor prescribed you lithium, I don't know if we want to do that in moderation. We might need to take that every day. We might need to take that every day because our doctor told us to take it. So with the prescription drugs, I don't know about that one in moderation, but I see where you're getting at. Sugary foods in moderation, yes, I agree with that part. A little Krispy Kreme every now and then is not going to hurt you. A little Pixie Stick is not going to hurt you. Hershey chocolate bar, it's not going to hurt you. So just moderation. Your videos help me deal with the sadness and confusion. I thought I was just one big psychotic episode and not me anymore. Your videos help me turn the light back on. Thank you. Hey, Ocean, I appreciate that. Those comments are my fuel. Like I just get so hyped, and I'm really grateful I get to do this. I really appreciate you. You like Chattanooga? I beg you different. I'm a Nashville kid, but Chattanooga is cool. Chattanooga is cool. It's cool. And look, Crystal. So yes, people can abuse prescription drugs. So if you meant it from that perspective, then yes, I give you that. Yes. So I forgot the mechanism, but behind why the bilateral music is helpful. But I need to read into that. But I do believe it is helpful, and I like listen to it where it's like I like to use it. Let me see. Any knowledge of sickle cell and its ties with mental health. So Monty on TikTok asked that question. I'm not a sickle cell expert, but there's definitely a link there, and the pain that comes with sickle cell can definitely lead to mental health issues. It's definitely a struggle. I'm 42, female, married with 2 boys and ADHD. I feel disconnected with myself recently. I feel like the person in the mirror is someone else. Is it normal? So Sahili, instead of it, now, is this something that people with ADHD could experience? Yeah. Is it neurotypical? Probably not, but neurotypical is not the goal because you have ADHD and it's not going anywhere. What's your normal? But the disconnection, I'm not sure if it's dissociation or whatever it is, but you want to normalize whatever you're feeling, so that way you don't feel like you're, like some weird person. You're just a human going through a very human thing. Would you ever consider doing a series on the effects of mental health issues on an entire family? Ooh, your videos have allowed me to affect the mental health played. So, hey, Jay Jackson, give me some more details here, because as I wrap up this live stream, it might give me some ideas. I'm always looking for ideas from my community, but yeah, mental health, it impacts the whole family. Yeah, and that's why, for those of us who don't have, I don't have any kids yet, but for those of us who don't have kids, or I'm not married yet, the best thing we can do right now, like the best thing I can do for my future wife, is to take care of myself up here. Right? Take care of myself up here. And hopefully she's doing that too. Then, in 7 years, we're okay for the kids. And for young parents, or for any parent, the more you invest into your mental health, you'll be able to show up better for everybody else in your life. But you got to take care of yourself first. You got to take care of yourself first. Trish is coming. It's coming. Keep speaking it into existence. It's coming. Would you, let me see, dynamic. I feel our story is really big advocate. Jay Jackson, man, I could do a whole series on mental health in the Black community. So many folk. You'd be surprised how many people tell me things like, "Oh man, like I know somebody who or somebody's close to me. I think that they could benefit from medications, but nah, we're not gonna do medications because who does medications? Or like we don't trust the doctors, and maybe you don't trust the doctors. And as Black people, we have many reasons to not trust medicine and many reasons to not trust doctors. But if you have schizoaffective disorder, you probably will need some medications, whether you trust your doctor or not. You got to find somebody you trust. If you have depression and it's kicking your butt, you could use some therapy or some medications. It's like you're playing life on hard mode. You don't have to play life on hard mode. You don't have to. You really don't. You really don't. Take care right here. Everything else takes care of itself. Yes, please. What they teach you in school is therapy is the best treatment for PTSD, but there are some medications. Jay Jackson, keep coming back on these live streams. And if you're comfortable coming on a live stream, I'll do one of those joint live streams and we'll throw you on the other side of the screen. When it does make them fly us out, we can be examples. Trish, what do you mean by that? Miles on TikTok, how you doing? What's up?
Let me see. I have sickle cell, but I was just told I naturally have anxiety and depression. So on Monty on TikTok, anxiety and depression is different from sickle cell. But you could, I don't know about naturally have it, but the sickle cell experience can lend itself to anxiety and depression. I do see that. Trish, it'll come. I'll definitely get a Netflix series, or I mean, I'm not sure what network I'll work with, but I want to create something that's original, and I don't want to just do something for like a money grab. I want to do something that means something to me. I've been moving with a lot of intention this year, and I'm going to continue to do that. So, whereas maybe 2 or 3 years ago when I first came to California, I'm like, oh yeah, how much are you gonna pay me? I just want to be. The money, whatever is coming my way is going to come regardless. But I want to make sure that I'm doing right by my community. I'm doing right by the people who follow me. Yeah, Netflix and Hulu, all that stuff. I do believe is coming for me. I know that. But the most important thing to me is my community. These people on Facebook, the people on TikTok, the people on LinkedIn. It's kind of small on LinkedIn, but you get the point. My people on YouTube, my people on Twitch, my 3 folks on Twitch. But that's what matters to me, because I'm not here without the community. And all Netflix or a network does is just enhance your visibility. You find more people that would have found you anyway. I'm looking for a certain type of person. It's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to improve their life. I mean, I don't know. But I'm looking for a certain type of person. I'm very specific. And the people who, I didn't tell y'all to find me. It was the algorithm or the powers that be. Somehow, some way, you found your way to this channel. And I'm just grateful that you did. But the people who benefit from this, that's what I'm looking for. So Trish, Jay Jackson, Amani on TikTok. There's people like you in Nebraska, Florida, Ohio, Switzerland, Egypt, South Africa, Australia. I don't know where they're at. They're out there somewhere, but I'm looking for them. And as they come into the community, they validate the experiences that we have, because they're like, oh, I've been struggling with X, Y, and Z. And then church is like, yo, I've been going through that too. And then you don't feel like you're crazy. So I'm looking for a very specific thing. And as I've been able to put things into perspective, it's done wonders for my own mental health. Especially being in the social media space. Everything here is not for me. Every deal is not for me. But I'm going to find my people. And I do believe I'll be able to make an impact. And I mean, we already are. So I just want to continue to do that and make sure that I can pour into myself so I can give y'all the best of me. And that starts with giving myself the best of myself. So as y'all do that, you'll be able to give me the best of you. Right? Reciprocity. It's a relationship. It's a relationship. It's a relationship. Okay, all right. I gotta get back to my brother. All right, let me see. All right. Anytime. It was, excuse me, someone's on. Yeah, y'all should be following each other in the community. Excuse me. Let me answer Monica's question first. Mine says, I always followed, just never knew you went live. Mine, I go live, but it hasn't been consistent. So we're expecting a new arrival in the family. Let me put this on real quick. Mark, I'll answer your question shortly. But at any moment, my sister could have a baby. It's going to be her first baby. So she and my brother-in-law are very excited for that. So whenever the baby comes, I will fly out to the East Coast and be there for that baby. So that's what's kind of keeping me, I'm just kind of waiting. Once my nephew's here, I'm going to be there for my nephew. Enjoy that family time. So once that's over and done with, in April, I will be going live every day. We're going to have live streams every day, content every day, and live stream every day. I've been able to get sober myself. So y'all will get the best of me because I'm getting the best of myself. So once my nephew comes, it's going to be on. We're going to be doing daily live streams. So I do have, they're called nibblings.
Yo, that's hilarious. Nibblings. That's funny. Sarah, I like that. Nibblings. I have 2 nephews and 1 niece right now. So this will be my third nibbling. But it's my second sister. I have 3 sisters. My second sister is her first baby. So it's gonna be weird to see her as a mom. But we are very excited for that. And yeah. So once my nephew comes and I handle that and I come back, oh, we're gonna be going live every single day. And I'm gonna pick a consistent time too. So that way y'all know when to expect me. And I'll be experimenting with like I'll go live on Facebook by itself one time and see how it looks. I'll go live on YouTube by itself one time. I'll go live on TikTok by itself. You know, I'll figure out some stuff, whatever works best for the community. Maybe we'll switch and go to Twitch. I don't know, but we'll figure out something and be consistent with it. I have to hold myself to that. He said, bring her good food to the hospital. She'll be starving just my liquor. Right down my weed. Let me answer Monica's question. Never caught realized before. I'm 53, severe ADHD, gone undiagnosed until now. Still technically untreated. Can you talk about addiction and ADHD, but more specifically gambling addiction and what to do about it? So, and Sarah, I appreciate you. Please stick around. I appreciate you, Sarah. Monty, everybody on TikTok, I appreciate y'all as well. So, Monica, gambling addiction, what to do about it? But there's a connection here I want to talk about. You're linking the addiction to the ADHD, and there is something there. A lot of people with ADHD, you're going to realize that you may describe yourself as somebody who has an addictive personality. You may hyperfixate on things. It could be a good thing. It could be a science project that you have to get done, or it could be a person that's not good for you, that's been love bombing you, but you're hyperfixated on them. And by the time you crash, got to pay for consequences at the end of that. But that's neither here nor there. Addiction and ADHD. Now, when ADHD is untreated, your potential for addiction goes up. So what ADHD treatment does, specifically medications and also therapy, helps to cut down on substance use rates, helps to cut down on addiction. So if you can link your gambling addiction to untreated ADHD, then the wheels start to turn. You're like, maybe I'm trying to hit all these parlays because I have ADHD and it hasn't been treated. So if I treat the ADHD, I'll hit the parlay. No, you won't hit the parlay. I mean, you may, but if you treat the ADHD, now you may not be as impulsive, right? Impulsive behavior, which is different from compulsive behavior. Compulsive is like, like you feel like you have to do it, like OCD. Like I'll be anxious if I don't wash my hands. Impulsive is, I'm gonna bet $500 in the New York Jets. Ooh, if the Jets just beat the Packers, and then the Broncos beat the Cowboys, my $500 can turn to $7,000. If LeBron James hits 5-3, that rush of dopamine. If I can get this parlay to hit, yeah, I could lose $1,000, but I could make like $10,000. If I get $10,000, ooh, that's crazy. I can bet $20. I might could get $40, or maybe it's just a small gamble. If I bet $10, I can get $90. If I bet $50, I can get $300. Ooh, what can I do with $300? The unknown with the gambling, it's all a dopamine rush. When you have ADHD, we love that type of thing. We love it. We love it. That uninformed optimism. Ooh, we love it. It can be a slippery slope. That's why I don't gamble at all, right? So if you can link all that to the untreated ADHD, you treating the ADHD can help to cut back on not only the gambling, but possibly some of the other impulsive behaviors in your life. And that could be a game changer. It could be a game changer. Somebody also asked about FND earlier today. It's not something that I even attempt to diagnose, but I have read up on it a little bit, and I know that it's something that needs to be talked about. So we will have that on the stream. ADHD is genetic. Uninformed optimism, yeah. I was speaking from personal experience. And Mayan Tita says, not that mental illness is the same as sickle cell, but more because of the pain and physical pain being mental. No, mind and TikTok, there is a connection, right? And also, just for example, there's an antidepressant called Effexor, right? It's in a certain class of medications where you get serotonin, but you also get an increase in norepinephrine. So that can help you, focus a little bit better too. But also, medications like Effexor can be used to help people who have pain because of the way it works. So there's a strong link between mental health and physical health. And also, if you're always in pain, you're gonna be a bit more irritable, So there's definitely a connection there. My dog just stole my spot. That's how dogs are. Yeah, Ocean. Look, once you understand yourself, that's why it's so important to understand yourself. Because if you know you have ADHD and you have a tendency to be impulsive, you're gonna stay away from certain things. You're gonna put yourself in the best possible position to succeed because you know yourself, right? So as we learn ourselves and we learn the things that we do, and if we can find a diagnosis that better explains the majority of the things that we do, we lock in on that. We take care of that thing. And then all the problems that we have in our life, they start to kind of go away. Maybe not all the way, but it gets easier because now we understand ourselves, right? You got ADHD, you tend to go from relationship to relationship to relationship. So now the next time you have a big crush on somebody, like, hey, all right, I'm just take it easy. I'm just chill for a little bit. That's what I do. Because I know my patterns and habits. I take it easy. I know myself. Right? You gotta know yourself. Literally me with the chronic pain, but thank you. I can see it for sure now. Anytime, Monty. Yeah, Ocean is power. You gotta know yourself. I think Drake had a song called Know Yourself. Maybe Drake got ADHD, right? Emma, oldest, has bad ADHD. So you think all three will. So Trish, I'm not sure, but there is a genetic link with ADHD. So could you have 3 girls and they all have ADHD? You could. Could you have 3 girls and none have ADHD? You could. Could one have it, 2 not have it? You could. But there's a genetic link for sure. And if the father has ADHD too, the chances go a little bit higher. All right, y'all. Okay. All right. It's only, well, I say it's not only, but it's 12:25 on the West Coast. I can only imagine what time it is on the East Coast. It's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. I'm going to answer this and then, I'll get off. And people will probably watch it after the fact. I hope people watch it. I hope they're able to get some value from it. But we will go live at more normal times too. What about the procrastination factor that comes with ADHD? The thought about leaving the house to do something is way more overwhelming than actually doing it. That's true. That is very true. So when you understand that, how do we account for that? We know that the thought of something is more daunting than actually doing it. So you might have to psych yourself up. Have a reward system. All right, if I do 2 hard things today, I get this. Like in college, the way I would study, I love my Titans. So I would say, all right, Kojo, we're going to watch the Titans game on Sunday. The Titans are playing the Raiders. It's going to be Matt Hasselbeck and Chris Johnson versus Jamarcus Russell and the Raiders. I'm dating myself. You can see how long ago I went to college. All right, you want to watch the Titans game on Sunday? Guess what? We have to study every day for 2-3 hours. So I would force myself to study so I can get the reward. So maybe give yourself a reward and say, all right, okay, we'll go out and we'll have ice cream or something. But in order to do that, we gotta get out the house. You have to do, and as you do these things that you don't want to do, it gives you confidence that you can do more things that you don't want to do, like go to the DMV, pay your taxes, things that we don't want to do, but we have to do, or else there's going to be a painful consequence there. Or you can use a fake deadline, which I've done many times. Or maybe you can change the time in your car so it's 90 minutes at a time. like psyching yourself. I still do these things to this day just to keep me right. Just to keep me right. Oh boy. But all right. That's it for today's live stream. I don't want to promise one tomorrow, but I'm feeling froggy. We might do one tomorrow. So we'll see. It'll be during normal times though. Because I want to like reach my people on the East Coast. I feel like I didn't get a lot of them. But that's it for tonight's live stream. I love y'all. Each and every one of y'all. Thank you for your attention. It means the world to me. I understand that a lot of people love you and care about you, and I'm just one of them. So you have a great night. Take care and be safe. I'll see you at the next stream.